On January 9th, 1938, Shirley Ray Beeler was born. She was a small-town farm girl and would visit her dad often in the field. She was an only child that was very witty. She tended to be very ornery at times, but she felt as being an only child she had to make up for it some way. She was always pulling tricks on her parents, like taking their tools, hiding them, or dumping them out of their holsters. One time her mother had a piano tuner over at the house to look at the piano. She was asking him questions and the piano tuner was getting kind of tired of it. That did not make her very happy, so when he was getting ready to leave, she took the latch off the toolbox so the tools would fall over. Being an only child, she didn't lack attention, but she sure did enjoy all the attention that she got and more. She enjoyed being outside and helping on the farm. She loved having pets. She would play with all the cats on the farm, and she also had a dog. She also really liked to play softball, and she would play it all the time. As she grew older, she was a very good student in high school. She worked hard and got good grades, but was still very ornery. Her and her friends would always be pulling pranks and doing something that they were not supposed to. One time at school, they had an assembly, and as they left, they ran ahead of the teachers and went to the clock and set it an hour ahead of time so that they could get out of school early. Let's just say the teacher figured it out, and somehow he knew it was the girls that did it, and so he let the boys go 15 minutes early, and the girls had to stay 15 minutes late. She started at the University of Kansas for 2 years and ended at Fort Hays State University to get her bachelor's in education. She transferred to Fort Hays because of my grandpa Don. She later went to marry my grandpa and became Shirley Bigham. She had 2 daughters, Stephanie and Allison. Stephanie is my mom and Allison is my aunt. My mom was the oldest and I am the oldest out of all the grandchildren, so I got to spend the most time with my grandma. I loved her very much and I would spend almost every day with her in the summer. We would make meals for the field and we would sometimes go ride with Grandpa on the combine. She would always take me places. She would take me shopping, and I always ended up convincing her to get me something. I would go to church with her and Grandpa almost every Sunday, and then we would go out to eat Subway after that. I remember eating with Grandma and Grandpa was the first time I had ever eaten at Subway. On February 7, 2006, my grandma was diagnosed with bile duct cancer. I was a freshman in high school, and by that time I had a younger brother that was in 5th grade and a younger sister that was 5. I also had 3 cousins. One was 8, and there was a set of twins that were also 5. I remember it like it was yesterday. I had gotten home from my basketball game, which I thought was weird that I didn't see her there, because my grandma would go to almost all of my games. She hardly missed one. When my mom and dad set me down in the living room that night to tell me she had cancer, I didn't know what to think. I didn't say anything. I sat in such shock and disbelief that I finally just went to my room and stayed there the rest of the night. I was so scared to talk to her. After I found out, I did not know how to act. I did not know what to say. I did not know what to do. I tried to spend as much time with her as I could before she left. The last time I saw her was February 19th, 4 days after my birthday, when her and my grandpa, along with my mom and my aunt, left for Houston, Texas. It was really hard for all of us, especially me. Being a freshman in high school, I wasn't very old, but I was old enough that I had to start doing more responsible things. Let's just say I had to mature a lot. I know that my brother and sister, along with my cousins, loved my grandma. I was the closest. I had spent the most time with her, and it really hit me hard. I did my best to stay strong for my brother and sister. I spent a lot of time taking my brother to school while my dad had my sister, and also tried to work on the farm. My grandma, along with my grandpa and mom, spent 3 months in Texas. The doctors did all that they could to help her. Once the doctors figured out that there was nothing that they could do, they sent my grandma back home, where she spent her last remaining month at the hospital near home. The last few days of her life were difficult, you could tell, and she did not want to let go, but she could not hold on much longer. I was not able to be there when she passed away because I was at basketball practice. When I heard that she was gone, I was sad but relieved at the same time to know that she was in no more pain. She was in a better place, and we all knew that. We knew that she would be watching over us and keeping us safe. It was cloudy and rainy that day on May 31st, the day she passed away. My mom said to let us know when she got to heaven, and sure enough she did. Later on that day, the rain stopped and the sun came out from behind the clouds, and there was a rainbow, as a sign that she was there and everything was going to be okay. There is a little poem titled God's Rainbow that describes how things ended, and it goes a little something like this. The falling rain dissolves into mist and the thunder begins to die. As the sporadic lightning fades, an arc of colors pour from the sky. Rainbows appear after mighty storms when things look their worst. Just when skies are darkest gray, out of heaven does the rainbow burst. God first sent the rainbow to Noah as a sign that his word is true. The rainbow's eternal message still speaks to me and you. The rainbow is a sign of God's promise that He will guide us through any storm, that He will ease all of our troubles no matter what their form. When you feel battered by life's storms and you are filled in doubt and dismay, just remember God's rainbow is coming. To this day I catch myself tearing up at the thought of her gone, but I know she is with me every day and guiding me with everything I do. I love her now more than ever, and that love will always remain.